Welcome back to our channel Historic Coin Treasures, where we uncover hidden coin rare discoveries and the real stories behind historic currency. If you love history, treasure, and the possibility of life-changing finds, subscribe now and let's discover the next hidden fortune together. Top 1. Today we are diving into a coin that many people have seen, many have ignored, but very few truly understand the hidden treasure behind it. A simple-looking coin that could be sitting quietly in your pocket, your drawer, or your old collection box right now. The United States Lincoln 1 cent 1978. First glance, this coin may look completely ordinary. It carries the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that has been part of American history for generations. On the back, you see the classic Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of strength and unity. Millions upon millions of these coins were produced, which makes most people believe that it holds no special value. But here is where things get interesting. Not every 1978 Lincoln cent is the same. Hidden within this massive mintage are rare variations, mint errors, and high-grade examples that collectors are constantly searching for. And when you understand what to look for, this ordinary coin suddenly becomes something extraordinary. Let's start with the basics. The 1978 Lincoln cent was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia do not have a mint mark. Denver coins carry a small d, and San Francisco coins carry an S. Now here is something that most people miss. The San Francisco coins were primarily struck as proof coins, meaning they were specially made for collectors with a higher level of detail and a mirror-like finish. But even among these, rarity is not just about where the coin was made. It is about condition. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. A coin that has been circulated, scratched, or worn down loses most of its value. But a coin that has been preserved in near-perfect condition with sharp details and original shine can be worth far more than you might imagine. Now imagine this. 2 identical 1978 pennies. One has been used in daily transactions for years, passed from hand to hand, losing its shine and detail. The other has been carefully stored, untouched, with its original mint luster still glowing. To an untrained eye, they might seem similar. But to a collector, the difference is huge. Let's talk about errors. This is where the real excitement begins. Mint errors are accidents that happen during the coin production process, and they can turn a common coin into a rare and valuable collectible point. One of the most sought-after errors in the 1978 Lincoln cent is the double die error. This happens when the design is accidentally stamped twice in slightly different positions, creating a visible doubling effect on the letters or numbers. Look closely at the date and the word Liberty. If you see clear doubling, you might be holding something special. Another fascinating error is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin can be. There are also coins with die cracks, where lines appear on the coin due to cracks in the minting die. While some die cracks are minor, others can be quite dramatic and add uniqueness to the coin. And then there are coins with missing details, weak strikes, or unusual coloring caused by planchet issues. Each of these errors tells a story about what happened during the coin's creation, making it a piece of history as well as a collectible. Now let's move to something that collectors truly chase: high-grade coins. These are coins that have been graded by professional grading services and assigned a score based on their condition. The highest grades are extremely difficult to find because most coins enter circulation and get worn down. A 1978 Lincoln cent in average condition is very common. But a coin graded at the very top of the scale, with flawless surfaces and full mint luster, is incredibly rare. These coins are often stored in protective holders and can attract serious attention at auctions. Here is something you should do. Take a closer look at your coins. Use a magnifying glass. Check the details of the date, the letters, and the surface. Look for anything unusual. Sometimes the difference between a regular coin and a valuable one is something very small that most people would never notice. Collectors love the thrill of discovery. The idea that a simple penny could turn out to be rare and valuable is what makes coin collecting so exciting. It is not just about money. It is about history, detail, and the possibility that something overlooked could be worth far more than expected. And now comes the part everyone is waiting for: the value. Most 1978 Lincoln cents in circulated condition are only worth a few cents. Coins in uncirculated condition can be worth a small premium depending on their quality. But when you start looking at high-grade coins and error coins, the value increases significantly. A high-grade uncirculated 1978 Lincoln cent can be worth from a few dollars up to several dozen dollars depending on its condition. A proof coin from San Francisco in perfect condition can reach values from several dollars to over $100. Error coins such as double die or off-center strikes can range from tens of dollars to several $100s depending on the strength and visibility of the error. Top 2. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins that many people overlook but collectors quietly search for every single day. The rare and valuable 1980 Lincoln 1 cent. At first glance it looks like an ordinary penny that you might find in your pocket or lying unnoticed in a jar at home. But what if I told you that certain versions of this simple coin can be worth far more than 1 cent, even hundreds or thousands depending on condition and rare errors? Stay with me because by the end of this video you might start checking every penny you own much more carefully. The 1980 Lincoln cent was minted in Denver and carries the small D mint mark just below the date. Millions of these coins were produced, which is why most people assume they are common and not worth collecting. But in the world of coin collecting, rarity is not always about how many were made. It is about how many survived in perfect condition, and how many have unique errors that make them stand out from the rest. Collectors love this coin because it represents a time when minting technology was improving, but still not perfect. That means small mistakes slip through, and those mistakes today can turn a normal penny into a valuable treasure. One of the most exciting things about the 1980 penny is the possibility of finding doubling errors. These errors happen when the coin design is struck more than once slightly off alignment, creating a shadow-like effect on the letters or numbers. If you look closely at the date or the word Liberty on some rare examples, you might notice this doubling. To an untrained eye it may seem like a small detail, but to a collector it is a sign that the coin is something special. Coins with strong doubling are always in demand and can sell for much higher prices compared to normal ones. Another important factor that makes this coin valuable is its condition. Most 1980 pennies you find today are worn out from circulation. They have scratches, dull surfaces, and faded details. But if you happen to find one in uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been used in everyday transactions, its value increases dramatically. Collectors are always searching for coins that look almost brand new. With sharp details and original shine, there are also off-center strike errors that can be found on this coin. This happens when the coin blank was not properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. These types of coins are visually striking and highly collectible because each one is unique. The more off-center the design, the more valuable the coin can become. Another rare and interesting variety is the die crack error. Over time, the dies used to strike coins develop cracks due to pressure. When a cracked die strikes a coin, it leaves raised lines on the surface. These lines might look like small scratches at first, but they are actually part of the minting process. Collectors appreciate these because they tell a story about the life of the die and the production process. Some collectors also look for coins with unusual toning. Toning refers to the color changes that occur on the surface of a coin over time. While some toning can reduce value, beautiful natural toning with rainbow colors can actually increase a coin's appeal and desirability. A 1980 penny with attractive toning can catch the eye of collectors and sell for more than expected. Now imagine this scenario. You are going through an old collection or a jar of coins, and you come across a bright, shiny 1980 penny. You take a closer look and notice the details are crisp, the surfaces are clean, and maybe there is a slight doubling in the letters. At that moment, what you have in your hand might not just be a coin. It could be a collectible piece worth much more than face value. The beauty of coin collecting is that treasures can still be found in everyday places. Unlike gold or silver coins that are often locked away, pennies like the 1980 are still out there in circulation, waiting to be discovered. This is what makes the hunt so exciting. Anyone can become a collector, and anyone can find something valuable with a bit of knowledge and patience. When collectors evaluate a coin like the 1980 Lincoln cent, they consider several important factors. These include the sharpness of the design, the presence of any errors, the overall eye appeal, and whether the coin has been professionally graded. Coins that are graded at the highest levels are extremely rare and can command impressive prices at auctions. Another interesting detail about this coin is its composition. It is made mostly of copper with a small amount of zinc, giving it that classic reddish appearance. This was before the major composition change in the early 1980s, which makes these coins part of the last era of traditional copper pennies. For many collectors, this adds an extra layer of historical value. If you are serious about finding a valuable 1980D penny, it is important to use proper lighting and magnification. A simple magnifying glass can help you spot doubling, cracks, or other small details that are not visible to the naked eye. Taking the time to carefully inspect your coins can make all the difference. Many experienced collectors recommend storing coins properly once you find something interesting. Avoid touching the surface with your fingers, as oils can damage the coin over time. Instead, hold it by the edges and consider placing it in a protective holder to preserve its condition. The world of rare coins is full of surprises, and the 1980D Lincoln cent is a perfect example of how something small and ordinary can become extraordinary. Whether you are a beginner or an experienced collector, this coin offers an exciting opportunity to learn, explore, and maybe even profit. So next time you come across a penny, do not ignore it. Take a closer look, examine the details, and remember that even the smallest coin can hold a big secret. The thrill of discovery is what makes coin collecting such a rewarding hobby, and the 1980D penny might just be your next great find. Top 3. Today we are diving into a fascinating story that every coin lover, collector, and treasure hunter needs to hear very carefully, because what you might have in your pocket right now could be far more valuable than you ever imagined. The United States Lincoln 1 cent from 1981 is not just an ordinary coin, it is a hidden piece of history, a silent witness of a major transition in American coinage, and for some rare versions, it can be worth an incredible amount of money. So, stay with me till the end, because this story is not just about a coin, it is about discovery, rarity, and the thrill of finding treasure in the most unexpected places. The year 1981 was a very special time for Lincoln cents, because it marked the final full year before a major change in the composition of the penny happened in 1982. Most people do not realize that the 1981 Lincoln penny was made in different varieties, and each one carries its own story and value. There are 3 main types of 1981 pennies based on where they were minted: Philadelphia mint with no mint mark, Denver mint with a D mint mark, San Francisco mint with an S mint mark, mostly proof coins. Now here is where things get interesting. Collectors are always searching for coins that are not just old, but unique, rare, and different from the rest, and the 1981 penny has several features that can turn an ordinary coin into a valuable collectible. First, let us talk about composition. The 1981 Lincoln penny was made primarily of copper, around 95% copper and 5% zinc, which already makes it more desirable compared to modern pennies that are mostly zinc. Collectors love copper coins because of their weight, color, and historical significance, but the real excitement begins when we talk about errors and rare varieties. One of the most talked about features in 1981 pennies is the possibility of double die errors. A double die coin happens when the design is stamped more than once slightly misaligned, creating a visible doubling effect on the letters or numbers. If you look closely at the date 1981 or the word Liberty, and you see doubling, you might be holding something very special. Another exciting error is off-center strikes. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during minting, resulting in part of the design missing and shifted. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin can become, especially if the date is still visible. There are also die cracks and cuts. These are imperfections in the minting die that transfer onto the coin, creating raised lines or blobs of metal. While some people might think these are defects, collectors see them as unique fingerprints of the minting process. Now let us talk about condition, because condition is everything in the world of coin collecting. A 1981 penny that has been heavily circulated will usually only be worth its face value or slightly more, but a coin in uncirculated condition, with its original shine and no visible wear, can be significantly more valuable. And if you happen to find a coin graded at the highest levels, such as mint state 65 or above, the value increases dramatically. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are another category altogether. These coins were specially made for collectors, with a mirror-like finish and sharp details. Deep cameo proof coin with strong contrast between the design and the background can be highly desirable. Now imagine this: you are going through your old coins, maybe coins you have saved for years, or coins passed down from family, and suddenly you notice something unusual about a simple penny. That moment of discovery, that spark of curiosity, is what makes coin collecting so exciting. The 1981 Lincoln penny teaches us that value is not always obvious. Sometimes it hides in the smallest details, waiting for Someone patient and observant enough to notice it. Many collectors spend years searching for that one special coin, that one rare error, that one perfect condition piece that completes their collection. And the beauty of it is that anyone can start, anyone can learn, and anyone can discover something valuable. So the next time you see a penny, do not ignore it. Take a closer look, examine the date, check the mint mark, look for unusual features, because that small copper coin could be a doorway to a much bigger story. It could be a piece of history, a collector's dream, or even a valuable asset. Now let us talk about the real market value and auction value of the 1981 Lincoln 1 cent. A common circulated coin is worth about 1 to 3 cents depending on condition. An uncirculated coin can be worth between $1 to $5. High-grade mint state coins can reach around $20 to $50. Proof coins from San Francisco can sell for around $5 to $20, depending on quality. Rare error coins such as double die or off-center strikes can range from $50 to several $100s, and in exceptional cases with rare errors and perfect condition, auction values have reached up to $1,000. So always remember, the value of a coin is not just in its age, but in its rarity, condition, and the story it carries. Top 4. Today we are diving into a coin that many people have seen, many have spent, and almost no one has truly looked at carefully. The 1979 Lincoln 1 cent looks ordinary at first glance, but hidden within this small copper coin is a world of rarity, mystery, and surprising value that could completely change the way you see your pocket change forever. Imagine holding a simple penny in your hand, something most people ignore or toss aside, and realizing that it might be worth far more than 1 cent. That is exactly what makes the 1979 Lincoln penny so exciting for collectors and treasure hunters around the world. This is not just a coin, it is a story of history, minting secrets, rare errors, and unexpected fortune waiting to be discovered. The 1979 Lincoln cent was produced in massive numbers across different mints in the United States, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. At that time, the coin was still primarily made of copper, giving it that rich reddish tone that collectors love. On the front, you see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has been part of American coinage since 1909. On the back, you see the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of strength and unity. But here is where things get interesting. Not all 1979 pennies are the same. Some of them carry tiny differences that most people would never notice. These differences are exactly what can turn an ordinary coin into something rare and valuable. One of the most important things to look for is the mint mark. Coins from Philadelphia usually have no mint mark, while Denver coins carry a small D, and San Francisco coins may have an S. While millions of these coins were made, certain variations from these mints are much harder to find in high-quality condition. A coin that has been preserved without scratches, wear, or discoloration can be worth significantly more than a worn-out one. Now let's talk about errors, because this is where the real excitement begins. Mint errors are like hidden treasures. They happen when something goes slightly wrong during the coin production process, and these mistakes can make a coin incredibly rare. One fascinating error to look for in the 1979 Lincoln penny is the double die effect. This happens when the coin design is stamped more than once slightly out of alignment, creating a visible doubling in the letters or numbers. If you look closely at the date or the word Liberty and notice a shadow-like duplication, you might be holding a very special coin. Another error that collectors love is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not perfectly aligned during minting, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. The more dramatic the off-center effect, the more valuable the coin can become, especially if the date is still visible. There are also coins with die cracks, where thin lines appear on the surface due to cracks in the minting die. While some people might think this is damage, experienced collectors know that certain die cracks can actually increase a coin's appeal and uniqueness. And then there are coins with unusual color variations. Because the 1979 penny is made mostly of copper, it can develop different tones over time. A bright red coin in mint condition is often more desirable than a darker brown one. Collectors use terms like red, red-brown, and brown to describe these variations, and the difference in value between them can be quite significant. Now imagine finding a 1979 penny with a rare error, in near-perfect condition with a beautiful red shine. That combination is what collectors dream about. It is like finding a hidden gem in plain sight. Another interesting aspect is proof coins from San Francisco. These coins were specially made for collectors and have a mirror-like finish. They are not meant for circulation, so finding one outside of a collection can be very unusual. Proof coins often have sharper details and a more polished appearance, making them stand out immediately. The thrill of collecting coins like the 1979 Lincoln cent is not just about money. It is about the hunt, the excitement of searching through coins, the joy of discovering something rare, and the connection to history. Every coin has passed through countless hands, traveled through time, and carries a story with it. Many collectors started their journey with a single penny. They looked a little closer, noticed something different, and suddenly a whole new world opened up. The 1979 Lincoln penny is one of those coins that can spark that curiosity. It teaches you to pay attention to details, to appreciate small differences, and to understand that value is not always obvious at first glance. If you are serious about finding valuable coins, you need to develop a habit of checking every penny you come across. Look at the date, examine the mint mark, study the surface, and use a magnifying glass if possible. The more you look, the more you learn, and the better your chances of spotting something rare. Collectors around the world are constantly searching for high-grade examples and rare errors from this year. Auctions have shown that even a common coin can become highly valuable when it has the right combination of rarity and condition. So next time you receive change, do not ignore those small copper coins. Take a moment, look closely, and imagine the possibilities. That simple act could lead you to an exciting discovery. And now, let's talk about the value, the part everyone is curious about. A regular circulated 1979 Lincoln penny is usually worth just 1 cent to a few cents depending on its condition. A well-preserved uncirculated coin can be worth a few dollars. Coins with strong red color and excellent condition can reach higher collector demand. Rare error coins, such as double die or significant off-center strikes, can sell for tens to hundreds of dollars depending on the severity and visibility of the error. Exceptional examples in top condition have reached auction values of several $100s or more. Proof coins from San Francisco in pristine condition can also reach strong collector prices, especially when graded highly. So the next time you see a 1979 Lincoln penny, remember this. What looks ordinary might actually be extraordinary. What seems small might carry great value. And what you almost ignored could become your most exciting discovery.